So what's going on, guys? DIY Dan here again, and in this video I'm actually going to be going over some issues that can happen with your barbecue grill and how you can take care of them. So we actually had somebody give us this grill. It wasn't working properly and they didn't want to mess with it, so they just went and bought a new one and gave this one to us. So this is a Master Forge grill, and I believe they purchased it at Lowe's. It's actually a pretty expensive grill. However, a lot of the concepts I'm going to show you are the same on other brands as well. So I had two major issues. One was very inconsistent flame. All of my heat was at the back of the grill and practically no heat up at the front of the grill. The other issue was the electronic ignition was not working. We're also going to go over a couple small things like the control panel lighting in the back of the grill itself, and then I ended up replacing the grates, which I bought on Amazon. So let's get to it. So I decided to take all my grates, the caps off the burners and the burners themselves out so I could just pressure wash this thing out. It worked out really well. One of the issues I was having with my grill is I had a very inconsistent burn. I had practically no flame towards the front of the grill and a massive amount of flame and heat at the back of the grill, which was also making it very hard to light. So I've taken one of my burners out to show you why it was having a hard time getting lit. So this is inside my grill towards the front. You'll notice the igniter is at the front of the grill as well, right next to your propane supply for your burners. So on the left is where the supply for the burner goes in. You'll notice halfway down, these ports are completely clogged, and therefore I was getting no propane and no flame until about halfway down the burner. So this issue was making it hard to light with the electronic ignition, and when it did go, you usually had a big flame. So what I ended up doing is taking a drill bit that would barely fit one of the holes that was not clogged and just drilling through every port on all four of the burners. So there's a view of after I finished one, and then I proceeded to knock all the old crap out of the burner before placing them back in the grill. So you can see on the table how much material I've been knocking out of these things, and I actually put a bunch in the trash before moving to the table as well. Make sure you line up that propane supply with the burner. Usually put it in at an angle, straighten it out, and push it in the rest of the way. Mine actually had some pegs that the burner slid over, and then there was a clip to hold them in place. So after putting one in place, I got looking closer and I realized that those big holes in the burners were not supposed to be there, and that was the main reason I had such a huge flame at the back of the grill. So I found a bolt that would fit and cover the hole, and then that retaining pin actually held that bolt in place, so there was a very tight fit. I believe originally it had more like a freeze plug in it, but this bolt worked just fine. Then all that was left to do was put the covers back over the burners. Those just set into place into a couple grooves. So I had taken my pressure washer to the grates as well. But once putting all the grates in, I realized that the one was starting to flake off pretty bad. So I decided to get some new grates. So I just measured the width and length of the grates, went on Amazon, and got a full new set for around 50 bucks. They were made out of a little thinner material than the old ones, but they fit just fine. So the other thing that'll commonly go bad on a barbecue is your electric igniter. So my control panel had 6 screws holding it up into place, 2 on each side and 2 underneath on the bottom. So I pulled those down to access the switch. So I was hoping to just do a battery in the electric ignition, which is usually inside the switch in most cases. However, when I went to do the battery, the switch was completely corroded out and I had to go get a new one from Lowe's, which was about 20 bucks, I believe. I did have one small issue with the igniter from Lowe's, is it only came with the ability to ignite 5 burners, and my grill actually had 6, so I ended up leaving my rear warmer disconnected. I was considering teeing one of the connections and seeing if it would run both, but never got around to it. I also cleaned out my grease tray and put it back up into place, and then mine has a roller bearing tray for the propane bottle, and it was very stiff. So I actually took some penetrating lubricant, sprayed it on the roller bearings, worked it back and forth a couple times, and got that working a lot smoother. So it was much easier to pull the propane bottle in and out for shutting it on and off. So here's a quick view of how easily the grill strikes up now and how even of distribution I have on the flame, whereas before all of my flame was at the back and practically nothing at the front. I wish I would have taken a video so you guys could have seen it. but I didn't think about doing a video on this until I was halfway through the project. Another issue I had is there was a 9-volt battery running the control panel lighting, and it was totally corroded out. So I went on Amazon, got a 2-pack for like $7, and just cut the old one off and went to wire in a new one. Now I use uninsulated wire crimp fittings, and then I put heat shrink over them. I just feel it gives me a more reliable crimp and it waterproofs it. So I got those crimped, put the heat shrink over them, and then just used a lighter to shrink it down. So there was also electrical quick disconnect on this. After putting it all together, I realized it was bad, so I just ended up bypassing it. Honestly, putting all that time and energy into these control panel lights, once I got them working, it didn't end up being that impressive, but there is the finished product. So it also has these lights back here, and I actually took the lenses off. Ended up soaking them in some dish soap water, then using a razor and a scrub brush, I cleaned them up as best I could. So on the one side, they just pushed into place, and then there was a clip and a Phillips head screw that held the other side. So I tightened both of those down. Now this was actually working off of a plug-in AC to DC converter down to 12 volts. However, since my grill is away from any outlet, I'm thinking of hooking up a 12-volt battery and running it off of that, and maybe putting a solar panel on the grill. But that's for another day, another time. And I don't know if it's worth the $50 that it'll cost to do that for a cheap battery and solar panel. So one other thing I'm thinking about doing eventually, and this is totally hypothetical, but we've got some stains on the countertop, and then this countertop is chipping away in the front, and it's also got some stains on it. So I've been wanting to do the concrete countertops, and I figured this might be a good trial for that. So look for that in a future video. I'm not going to give you a time frame because I don't know when I might get to it, but it is something I'm thinking about doing. So after this was all said and done, I ended up cooking some burgers, and I was pretty excited because the burgers actually slid on the grill and didn't get stuck and leave meat chunks behind. Plus I had a nice even flame front to back, which made it much easier to cook the burgers. Hope you guys got some good information out of this video and it helped you out. If so, hit like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hope to see you next time. Later.